And we are back with an episode of Keep Your Hands Up with JC and J Rosa. My brother, what is good?
How did you not introduce our first guest to the new year?
I'm waiting for you to say howdy. I'm waiting to do the whole intro.
Nah. It's new year, new intro.
Oh,
I'm gonna just start saying.
Intro.
I'm just gonna start saying that, even if we don't have a guest.
Even if we don't, all right. Well, the big reveal. Not only the first guest of the new year, JC. This is the first guest ever.
This is the first guest
ever. I mean, we have the homie Shady in the building. What's going on?
What's popping?
What up, baby?
What's going on, man? You know, this is a big one. And
yeah, it's been a long time coming, I feel like.
Yeah, I will say that too. We've been trying to get some guests on, you know what it is, but working with time and stuff. You know, it's one of those things. Everybody get their lives and stuff. But Shady, we're happy to have you here. Happy for you to take the time to come and chop it up with us, man.
Yes, you're welcome.
You know, oh, you're
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Mm-hmm. Yo, how's everybody's New Year, man? How you chilling the crib?
Quiet.
Yeah,
quiet the way I like it. That's the way I like it.
This break has been so long. I actually forgot I had a job. I gotta get back to work, man.
How long you been off for?
Christmas Eve.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Hey man, I work at a restaurant. That's where the shit spreads the most.
Damn, that's crazy.
Nah. I mean, I was supposed to work a couple days, and they just said, "Nah, bro, stay home." Like it's my money.
You stay home.
I mean, I've worked probably 2 days since the new year.
Go ahead. I'm gonna close the door, guys. Go ahead. You keep talking.
Yeah.
I've worked 2 days since the new year, so it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I took time off because it's like one of those things where if you don't take it, you lose it. So I just took it.
Fair enough. I mean,
I kind of been chilling.
I've had no choice. Luckily for me, I bounced back with photography. But even then, so those are odd jobs. But like honestly, I just want the shit over with, bro, for real.
My bad, boys. My girl just came home and I hear like boom, boom, boom. I'm like looking, and I got my son on the tablet eating his sandwich and stuff. And she goes, "Yo, he came running to the door like, yo, who's this? Ready to see what's popping?" Okay, man. But I didn't hear anything, but I'm pretty sure you guys had a great New Year, as did I. Now, how long do you stop saying New Year? Like Happy New Year?
That's it.
I feel like after like the third, fourth day, like that's
right,
it, bro.
Right.
Stop.
That's the one thing I hate about work is like you get like people who you don't see and be like, yo, Happy New Year. It's like, my man, after MLK Day, I mean,
give it a rest.
Yeah, you should not be wishing me a Happy New Year, you know? Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where like one of my least favorite things in the world, and you know, maybe y'all feel this way, is that, oh, see you next year, bro. All right, bro.
That shit stopped being funny in elementary school.
Yeah, like come on, bro. Stop. Cut it out.
Yeah, stop that shit. Yo, man, you guys haven't noticed, well, more JC than Shady. As you can see, your boy's out the sling.
Oh, it's because yeah. Well, that's because it was all an insurance scam, man. Come on, son.
That's what it
know. We both know exactly what that shit was. It's like, oh shit! All of a sudden, I'm killer. He's like, I got the Holy Ghost. Oh shit!
New Year, new me. Nah, but it's only on limited times. I got to keep it upright. Your boy started physical therapy this week, so
how's that going?
I mean, it's all right, you know, first day and stuff. But I'm not looking forward to it because. Like they like, you know, already like, yo, we gotta push it. I'm like, yo, my man, can we like with the little foreplay? Take me to dinner, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like at least first before we start.
They did that with my when I cut my finger. I almost cut the finger off, and I had to go to physical therapy for it. And she's like, oh no, you have to. Like, I'm like, yo, this shit still hurt. What you mean? It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
Like, give me a break.
Yeah, but you know, they're like, yo, take it out of the sling for a little while. You know, not like doing any crazy movements, but like, you know, if you're sitting down. Because, you know, if not, you know, the body and the muscles, they're going to start to atrophy. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got to put it to work.
You definitely don't want that.
Nah. Too young for that, man. Too young.
Wiggle your big toe on some Uma Thurman shit when her legs was all fucking atrophy.
Yeah.
Wiggle your big toe.
Of course.
So
man.
I guess y'all normally probably do most of the question answer and things like that. But what are you looking forward to as far as from a fight perspective, the most this year? Who you want to see? What do you want to see? How do you feel about it?
For me, probably the biggest thing I want to see this year is probably I want to see John Jones in the heavyweight division. I want to see what he's going to do. To me, that's one of the bigger storylines. I want to see what he's going to do. And then I want to see what they do, you know, at 185 with Izzy. Because let's think about it, right, guys? And let's actually talk. Let's go right into this one first. I want to talk about it because this is actually one of the big questions I got for you guys is, what do you do with Izzy if he beats Robert Whittaker? Because, you know, he's already beaten Whittaker. Let's say for all intents and purposes, he beats Whittaker, right? So now he's beat Whittaker. So he's beat Whittaker twice. He dominated Paulo Costa. He beat Marvin Vettori twice. Who am I missing here that he just beat? Yoel Ramiro's gone.
He's
gone.
So it's like a, you know, so it's like a lot of the really big contenders at 185 he's already beat, and it's like he's already tried to jump up to 205 and failed. So it's like, what do? Do you keep just feeding him guys at 185? Do you know, try and tell him like, yo, Papa, let's try to go back up to 205, you know? So it's a lot of I'm looking at the rankings right now.
He's in a bad position.
I mean,
he is.
Yeah,
he's in a real bad position. Because he's in limbo. He can't. You saw what Jan did to him.
Yeah.
And then you see what he's doing at 185. So do you push and just strive through the light heavy and, you know, take your L's, but eventually maybe you'll be, you know, somewhere in the top 5 if it keeps going down the way. I mean, let's talk though. Dominic Reyes, Izzy, anybody top 5 Izzy in light heavy. I after seeing what happened with Jan, I don't know how that shit will play out. So, and then Yuri on top of that's there too. Yuri versus Izzy, that would be fucking crazy though.
That's a tough one.
That's such a tough one for Izzy.
I just don't know if Izzy's there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Izzy's an incredibly talented fighter, right? But I just don't know if he's ready to fully make the jump. It's almost like the UFC, like you're saying, they're in a hard spot where maybe they need to kind of create a division somewhere right in the middle. You know what I mean? To give him another opportunity, because the only other person I could see him fighting, and forgive me, his name escapes me, but is the dude who beat him before, right? In the kickboxing.
Oh yeah, Alex.
Right.
And that's what, and that's that great point right there. So I think that's what they're kind of hoping for. I think they're hoping, you know, this guy, he knocked somebody out in his first fight. I think they're going to feed him another. I mean, it's never an easy fight in the UFC, you know what I mean? But I think they're going to kind of, you know, pick the matchups a little wisely for him and kind of hope he builds up to kind of really contend them. Because I mean, I'm looking at the rankings now, right? You got Whittaker, Vettori, Jared Cannonier, Derek Brunson. I mean, they're fighting next. I'm pretty sure the winner of that probably fights Izzy. I mean, are any of you guys really hyped up? You know what I mean? To like watch that fight, you know, and
I do have Brunson winning now.
Me too. Yeah.
Versus Izzy?
Yeah.
No.
Versus Cannonier.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm not a Cannonier fan. I'm not. I've never really been a Cannonier fan, but I do like Brunson in that. And I'm just looking now, and you might be right, Shady. You know, I know Dana always kind of like poo-poos at the idea of more divisions, but when you're talking 185 to 205 is such a huge, like you're talking 20 pounds.
That's huge.
Like that's 20 pounds. So it's like, it's tough. And then, you know, Izzy went into the fight versus Jan. He didn't want to put on weight. I think he went in weighing like 195,
196. Yeah, 195, 196.
You know, so he was like 10 pounds already under. And you know, when it comes down to it, 10 pounds of a athlete versus athlete, 10 pounds is a lot weighing on you. And Jan is just,
and you're talking about weight night. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. By the time you rehydrate, Jan is probably walking around at 210, 215 easily. You know,
Jan was probably 220 walking in there, man. That Polish power, man, that boy,
damn big.
Yeah, that boy was easily 220, and then he's just laying on you. Like, I mean, it was not, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a boring fight, but it wasn't the most interesting fight. But Jan had his game plan. He said, my man, Papa, you're not coming up here weighing 195. And you
thinking you're going to steamroll somebody.
Yeah. And Jan's not even a wrestler. So imagine, it goes back to the whole thing. Imagine John Jones in there with him. Remember, they were going back and forth. So it's like, Izzy would have been in a world of hurt. You know what I mean? With John Jones' wrestling pedigree. So I mean, I think it's tough. I mean, granted, right? We're saying it's tough. The champ has nobody to fight. So I mean, there's that's first world problems, right? Like he can't find anybody, and I'm sure they'll find people, but it's just tough to see a guy dominate that division. And who knows? Maybe Usman comes up and we get a super fight, even though they've denied that.
Fighting.
Yeah. I know they said they won't. I mean, but hey, what if Dana throws,
he said they said 3. Yeah, they said 3 million, I think, 10 million or something.
Yeah,
they'll do it.
That's why I said 10 million, because Usman said, Usman said 10.
They might be able to swing it.
Yeah, 10 million.
That's a lot of fucking money.
We still boys after, but 10 million,
yeah.
that's real life changing money. You know what I mean? For one fight. So
why you think Conor not fighting? $75,000 in one fight?
Oh yeah. Why not? Sign me up.
You think I want to go get punched around for $1 million? No,
yeah, I'm good, man. I am good. I don't want none of those problems, man. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they do at 185. What are you looking forward to, Shady, this year?
In MMA, I kind of want to see Usman continue to dominate. I think that's been huge for me. You know what I mean? He's such an exciting fighter. And you can kind of see that arc of his career where he's just becoming like this dominant force. You know what I mean? So that's going to be big for me. I'm like you guys. I'm really confused about Izzy. I just don't know what to do with him as a fighter right now. So it's kind of hard to be excited for him because for all accounts and purposes, I know he's going to beat Whitaker. Like, you know what I mean? I know he's going to beat him. So
that's a good take.
I know.
don't know.
I'm a big. I like Whitaker, but I think it's just a bad matchup for.
I think stylistically, it's about
it's a bad matchup.
So I mean, that's huge for me. If you flip over to boxing, now there's a couple fights I want to see there that could be really exciting, right? But in MMA. I also want to see how Nunes comes back from that loss. I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that.
I don't know. We were talking about that on the last show, and it was more something was off with Nunes, and it didn't even feel. She didn't even feel like she lost. Like she wasn't there. She wasn't in the fight. I mean, I think that's one thing we discussed. She was there physically, but she wasn't really there.
Think it was the baby?
Nah, because she's been in like 4 fights since the baby was born.
Not 4, but I think like 2 or 3. But I think
2 or 3. She's had
even
fights,
maybe
though.
1. I think she's had fights. I think maybe 1 or 2, not even 2 or 3. But I think for me, the word that I kind of keep circling back at when I watch the fight and then look at the highlights, like she almost looks relieved.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, you know what I mean? She was like,
yeah.
Like, all right, like fuck it. You know what I mean? Like it's so much stress and so much pressure.
What's that?
What are you saying?
Probably Tom. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like she probably just like, thank God I got this shit out of my system now. Like I could just relax. You know what I mean? Because that shit is so much pressure. Even if you look back a couple years, right? Like when Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm, it wasn't so much like she was in shock. It was almost like kind of that same feeling of being like, thank God. You know what I mean?
Really? From what I remember, Ronda was very upset.
But even in the press conference though, she wasn't like very angry. She kind of a little bit, not like relieved. Like it's true. She like said, it's so much pressure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. But then everything that happened afterwards. I mean, I'm not gonna get into discussion about Ronda, but yeah, no, relief is how it seemed the way Amanda took the loss. So I don't really see. I'll see her fighting one more time. I don't.
Well, she says she's gonna fight her again. And maybe that's what she needed. Maybe that's the fuel she needed. Even Amanda, she's made a shit ton of money. Yeah. And it's tough. You know what I mean? Like maybe she took it a little easier this training camp. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe she felt like she plateaued. Yeah. For a little. I mean, she's had the belt for how long?
Wow. Both.
That's what I'm saying. For years.
Both belts. She's had both belts. And it's kind of like almost the John Jones fatigue at 205. It's like, yo, I've been whipping these guys' asses for 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Like, yo, what am I going to do next? You know what I mean? So, you know, got to go up to heavyweight, need a new challenge. It's just that repetition, and it's tough. You know, it's really tough, man. And I hope we don't see that with Usman. You know, trying to circle back to what Shady said, Usman at 170. I think at 170 we got a couple more interesting fights for Usman to do. You know, I like Bilal Muhammad, man. I'm not gonna lie. Him dominating Wonder Boy, that was impressive to me. And Vicente Luque, he's a tough killer, man. I think there's some guys at 170 that will keep Usman, you know what I mean, more focused, motivated, you know what I mean. So I think that's something good we could look forward to Usman. But I think Usman takes I don't think we see Usman till the summer.
At least,
at
least.
Hope he's chilling in Cameroon. No. Cameroon is
he's not from Cameroon.
Nigeria. That's my bad. Yo, I tried replicating the fucking Leon Edwards Usman fight on UFC 4. That shit didn't go as planned, bro.
I hope Usman and a bunch of Nigerians just come at you now, just for the disrespect.
You're gonna need
Leave it to the American. Leave it to the American.
Hey, man, I did my best.
You got the gloves on. You got the gloves on, man. But yeah, man, speaking of Cameroon, right? So we got Francis versus Ciryl Gane. Now, Shady, we've been kind of flirting with this fight, haven't really gone too full in depth on it. We're about maybe, let's say, so 2.5 weeks out from this fight on the 18th. Which way are you leaning right now? You know, they used to be training partners. I don't think it's an easy fight for Francis.
It's tricky, right? It's tricky, right? Because at the end of the day, I do love Ngannou, but Ciryl or however you say his name,
the cereal, what's your favorite cereal?
I think
Captain Crunch.
I think he could beat him, just because he's more of a pace fighter, and I feel like one of the ways that you beat Francis is this: you slow him down, right? You don't let him tee off on you. You slow him down. You control the pace of the fight. And you kind of tie him up a little bit. Yeah. Don't let him kind of tee off on you, hit you with a couple of haymakers.
Falcon! Punch! Lights out, son.
I think Ciryl, he's going to give Ngannou a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
I do too, man. I think it's... And Stipe...
He's boring.
He's boring? Who? Ciryl Gane.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him versus Derek Lewis. I mean, right? He's just he's gonna go at his pace. And I think Ciryl Gane is just, to me, what's super impressive is a guy that size, very, very technical. Footwork is really good. You know, understands spacing. You know what I mean? I don't think he's gonna get into Francis's range. I think he's gonna be in and out, similar to the Stipe blueprint. You know, Stipe showed us how to beat Francis. Now, you don't want to get hit. Stipe took a lot of hits that first fight. And he couldn't take it in the second one. But I don't know, man. I'm on the fence right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm leaning.
You said
Ciryl Gane. I'm leaning Gane. Maybe going up to it, I might change my way, but I think it's gonna be a great main event. I think it's gonna be really dope to see. And the other thing, and then I'll get your take on this, JC, is interesting is this is Francis's last fight on this contract.
On the contract.
On the contract. I was about to say, I'm like, do you have any insider knowledge? Like, how the fuck do you know this?
No, but I was listening to an interview, and Dana was saying, like, yeah, this is Francis' last fight. We offered him another contract. He wants to fight out his contract. And rumor is he wants to go fight Tyson Fury.
Yep.
He wants to box Fury.
Yep.
He wants to box Fury. Now, if he loses, do people still want to see him box Fury? You know what I mean? So he's taking a big gamble on himself. You know what I mean? So that's the thing I'm looking at. And even if he loses, Dana White is not going to give you, he's going to hold you to it. He's like, oh, now you want to re-up. You should have signed before. You know what I mean? Now you're coming off a loss. You know, so it's like, it's one of those things where I don't know, man. I don't know what type of motivation Francis has. I don't know what his game plan is. It looks like he's trying to get some money, man, and box Tyson, but he needs to be. Well, he needs to be gone.
The problem is that where's the inspiration when you're not getting any support from the promotion that you actually work for? Like, why give a motherfucker? How many fights did he have in? Was it 2019 when he was trying to get the? Oh shit! I think we lost Shady. We lost the guy. Oh, okay.
He's a.
Yeah, where's the support? There is none. He had one, if not, I don't think he even fought in 2019 when he was waiting for the title shot.
Yeah, I think Francis is, kind of anger and, motivation here comes from, because
he's definitely carrying something with him with the UFC.
Yeah, it's because he was mad that he had to wait for another title fight because the whole Daniel Cormier and Stipe trilogy. He's like, yo, we had to wait a whole year for them to do it. Like, what's up? And now, I tell you I can't fight for like a month or two, and then you do an interim belt.
Like wow.
And Derek Lewis, and it's like, yo, what's good? Like, I don't get that same type of respect. So I get it.
They don't respect them, and that's why a lot of shit.
I think you said, you know what, fuck them. I thought that's what you said.
I mean, that's what Dana White basically did. That is what he did. He's like, yo. He said, I can't give me like 6 months, bro. Yeah, 6 months. That's fair. Now he needed like 6 months off. And that was fine. And then Dana said, "Nah, man, we can't wait that long." I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
yeah, because he had one in March. Yeah, go, Shady.
I think that it's because Stipe and Daniel Cormier held up the division so long. I think that's why Dana was so pressed. Not saying it's fair to Francis, but I think because they held it up so long that Dana's like, nah, we got to start moving this division along because shit's taking too long for something to happen, for us to have a true champion, somebody who's going to defend every couple of months or whatever it is. And I think that's kind of where that came from. But at the same time, I think the big thing for Francis is the disrespect from Dana and from the UFC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time, right? Like it's a business, right? And a lot of these guys, I see it from both sides because Dana's like, yo, Papa, we got a trilogy fight here. Like, you know what I mean? We got DC, a Hall of Famer, Stipe, Hall of Famer. You got to wait in line. And Francis is like, wait in line. Like, I'm already in my 30s. I got to start fighting now. Like, I got to start making more bread. So I definitely see it from both sides. I just think it's a dangerous game going into a fight, a title fight, and you don't have I mean, to me, it's just like, you want to talk about betting on yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong. Francis gets him out of there, light work, highlight KO.
Oh, if he knocks him out, he's right.
He write his own check. You write a blank check. So now, if you lose, I mean, Dana's I don't think he's a good guy to do business with when he's angry with you. He looks like a type of guy that holds grudges. What do you think, Shady?
Oh, really?
I think Dana holds grudges. I mean, I just think that, like you said, it's a hell of an opportunity for Francis. You betting on yourself, and maybe it really pays off. But the flip side of that coin is that, what if it doesn't? Yeah. You know what I mean? What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? Not only are you out of that contract and you have to try to renegotiate now, but that vision that you have of fighting Tyson Fury down the road, nobody wants to see that shit. If you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to see it if you coming off a loss like that. It's like the last Wilder Fury. I didn't want to see that. You know what I mean? Because I thought Fury beat him both times. So he
did. Wilder had that big round, that late round, and you could even argue that Fury won the rest of that round after he got up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That first fight. Let's talk about this, Shady, right? Because we don't really talk too much boxing in here. We'll talk about, big boxing fights here and there. Obviously, we're all MMA fans and, do love boxing. But do you think, Shady, that boxing can never adapt right now, right? Because right now it's just boxing is in a tough place where, don't get me wrong, it's about 2 to 3 big fights a year, but not like the UFC every weekend is just consistently putting out these fights that we want to see. You know what I mean? And I know it's a lot of the promoters to do with it, and it's all about the money. But do you think there'll ever be a time where we'll see boxing kind of adapt to the UFC model where we're getting the fights we want to see and more consistent fights?
I think that first of all, I think there's way too many hands in the pot, right? Mm-hmm. I think that you should maybe cut down some of the promote, and I don't know how you do that. I'm just saying, kind of the outside perspective looking in. Mm-hmm. I think you cut out some of the promoters, at least those who have the exclusivity rights, right, to some of these fighters, and then the UFC and MMA in general is putting so much pressure on boxing to have these bigger fights, right? And hold these champions accountable and hold the promoters accountable. Like, yo, you really need to put this together, because if not, UFC has gotten such balls, right? Yeah. And I say that because they're putting on fights on the same nights as big boxing fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
I mean,
be like, on a Canelo fight, I'm gonna put on Usman and you know what I'm saying? Like,
and they even
balls to do that.
Shady, even when the Nate Diaz Masvidal fight, Canelo and the Zone pushed the fight back to wait till after the BMF championship belt. Like, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's when, you know, like, UFC has kind of arrived. And JC, to give you an example, right? This is what we're kind of talking about with the promoters and stuff, because I know you're not 100% familiar with boxing. Let's say like a weight division, right? Like 155 pounds, right? So there'd be 4 promotions and there's 4 different belts. So you'll have 4 different.
Yeah, I never understood that.
155-pound champions, but they won't fight each other.
Because they all different promoters.
Because they all different promoters. So it's like,
it's very strange. Same division, different promoters.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, so right now, like, the fight everybody wants to see is, you know, Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence. I mean, we've been talking about it for damn near 2 years now.
Yeah, at least.
You know, and it's like, I mean, these 2 of the best guys in the world, can we see them fight? You know what I mean? Or it's like Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. Can we see those guys fight? It's just one of those things where it's like,
any of those guys at 135.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, you got like 4 different. Well, now the dude from New Zealand, he who beat Tiafoe, he has like 3 belts.
Oh, what's the Ben?
George Columbus something. But like at 135, JC, just think about, like, if you had, I mean, Conor, Khabib, Dustin, and Charles Oliveira, and they're all each champs, and it's like, well, yeah, but they don't fight each other. They just fight
because of the promotions.
The promotions won't let them.
And the money isn't right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So that's another thing, right, JC? They'll be like, yo, I'm gonna fight you, you fight me, but I'm the A side. I'm 60, you get 40, and it's like, no. I'm 60, you 40.
Oh no.
So now it takes another
unacceptable.
So that it takes like another 5 months just to get it close to 50-50. Or they'll be like, nah.
Arbitration.
Yeah. It's like
unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So I can't see the best fighters in the division go at it because the money ain't right.
The money ain't right.
Not only the money not right, but the promoters are different, right? So like, one of the biggest promoters is Top Rank, right? And then one of the other big promoters is PBC. And normally, or what's Al Heyman's thing? It's not PBC. It's something else.
Yeah. Isn't Bob Arum? Well, Bob
Arum's Top Rank.
Top Rank. Yes.
So, but long story short, it's PBC and Top Rank won't work together because the owners don't like each other.
That was just about to say.
So
exactly.
Whoever fights for Top Rank can't fight anybody from PBC. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those type of things.
Nah, just fucking wild.
Just picture like 4 Dana Whites trying to do business together, and everybody trying to out
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, exactly, right. And it's like everybody's trying to out alpha each other, and it's just like it just makes for a bad product for us, because like we can't see the fighters and the fights that we want to see. You know what I mean? So
that's pathetic.
I don't think we will ever see them adapt, Shady. I just don't think we're gonna see.
You know what it is? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's what it is.
Let me ask this then. So that being said, now that I just found out why like a Canelo will have like 88 belts around his fucking shoulders by night, and I have no idea why. I'm just like, hey man,
here's another thing.
He must like his jewelry.
Yeah.
What?
Now, I was gonna say Canelo. Let me give you one more example real fast before you ask. So Canelo, he went to 168 pounds, and he said, I'm gonna win all the belts. I'm gonna unify them. So he ended up getting 3 of them, and then the last guy he just fought, Caleb Plant. For a while there, he didn't want to fight him. He was like, "No, you got to pay me more." So it's like, yo, my man, I got these 3 belts. I'm trying to get your belt, and you still won't fight me. And I'm offering you the biggest payday of your life, and you still trying to be like, I don't know, man. We need another couple more million, Shady. You know, I don't know. So go ahead. So that's what we working with, JC.
All right, So that being said, would you rather see that and see? You're basically watching something so archaic essentially kill the sport. multi-promotional sort of contracts or whatever you want to call them, or have an overseer tyrant like Dana White, because I don't know if that business model is sustainable either. So where's the boxing thing that y'all just taught me, and then the tyrant, overseer, the overlord?
Yeah,
I think that you have to find a healthy balance, right?
I agree.
I think that somewhere in the middle between the two is probably the best place to be. Because the thing with Dana and him being the overseer is that there's definitely some holes there, right? One of the biggest things being fighters' pay, right? And how much
fighters'
they make.
Health too. That's
their
one thing
benefit as far as
that's what
insurance and stuff like that. So, but on the flip side of it, it's, do you want to continue to do the same song and dance with the boxing promoters where me and you are sitting down at a table and I hate your guts, right? And I want my fighter to fight. I want him to get the best fights and the biggest paydays, but I hate you so much that I won't let him fight any of your fighters.
I kind of fucking think that's hilarious stuff. That is so fucking funny. It's like, yo, I don't like you and I will not fight you. Yo, I won't have your money because I hate you. So, and I hope this shit goes to like old.
They old guys. They're already old. Bob Arum's like in his 80s.
That's fucking hilarious. I want to direct this movie.
Like, I would pay to be like a fly on the wall to listen, to be like in the inner meetings and hear what's going on. I think Shady, and JC, I think maybe what boxing might need is kind of like, the NFL and the NBA, where you have like a commissioner who kind of all works for all the promotions. You just get like a commissioner of boxing, like a Roger Goodell type. And you should be like, look, you work for us 4 promotions. You're the mediator, and you kind of, navigate and try. Cause I mean, that's what the commissioners do. You know what I mean? He's just massaging the egos of the players and of the owners. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're kind of being the middleman. So I think maybe that's what boxing needs, but you gotta have some of these old guys kind of concede a little bit and give up some of that power. Which is hard to.
You know how much more lucrative boxing would be if they had something like that? Just somebody to step in the middle and be like, listen, these 2 dudes are fighting. Here's what the money's gonna look like. Here's how we're gonna divvy it up. And let's just get a date and let's work with that. Let's start with the date first.
Yeah, here's the date. This is the fight. Here's the split. You know what I mean? And then a lot of times too, it's like there's such a pride thing where it's like, I'm not even gonna split 50-50 with you. Why would I split with you? I'm the man. I'm doing you a favor for you fighting me. My belt is better than your belt.
Well, here's the if you look at it, like, so if you took 2 promotions, right? Let's say PBC, and I'm picking on them, but PBC and Top Rank, right?
Well deserved.
And let's say, who generated the most revenue in the last 3 fights, right? And let's break it down like that. All right, so based on the last 3 fights, whether it be Showtime, wherever the fights are streaming, Dacian or wherever, the reality is that, let's say Top Rank is the A side on this fight, right? Not to say that PBC can't be the A side on another fight, but for this particular fight, Top Rank's going to be the A side. And I think that's one of the ways where you can do it. Like, who's generating the most money? Because that's what it comes down to. It's just dollars and cents at the end of the day. That's all it is.
It should. I mean, I think it should. I think that's the way they gotta look at it. But they just don't. They don't. Like you said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and they're kind of stuck in their ways. So you got 80-year-old millionaires who've been doing it their way forever, and like, I'm not gonna change what I'm doing now. It's always worked for me. I'm the alpha. It's a pissing contest at the end of the day.
That's Bob Arum.
Of course, that's Bob Arum. Of course,
that's Bob Arum.
Yeah, and he don't fuck with Dana either. He be coming at the UFC. I remember he was coming at. Was it Bob Arum or Heyman was like, I can't believe they doing shows during the pandemic, and then a couple months later they would do a boxing fight. So it's one of those things where it's just, I don't know, man. And to your initial question, JC, I'm sorry if I rambling here. With Dana White and having that one authority figure, you do get the growth that I think we've seen in MMA, because I think Dana White has pushed this sport to something that nobody really has saw coming. You know what I mean? From from a sport that, you know, you couldn't even get a fight, the commission in New York City and state of New York to commission a fight, you know, 15 years ago. And now it's on ESPN, you know, so I think that's the great thing. But then with all that power, you know what I mean, it kind of screws a lot of these fighters on the, you know, on the back end. Like we got guys like Jeff Neal, who's in the top 10, working at Texas Roadhouse on the weekends to, you know what I mean, to make ends meet.
Is he still doing that?
No, not no more, but that was like a year and a half. It's just my favorite kind of go-to. It's true though, but it was waiting tables in the top 10, you know? So it's one of those things where it's like, we need to kind of like, there needs to be more collective bargaining, you know what I mean? But it comes on the fighters. If the fighters don't unionize, you're never going to have that. You know what I mean? Like when you look at baseball, you look at NBA, you look at NFL, you got the players union. So until you guys unionize, you know, no, Dana's not going to concede anything.
But that person who decides to take that step, they also have to be willing to sacrifice their career as a fighter.
Of course.
Because, you know what I mean? You'll probably never fight again, but you'll help everybody else. You know, the longevity of the player's health and them being able to earn a fair income and things like that. But you have to sacrifice your career for that.
Dominic Cruz.
He's already, he's on the way out, man.
Might as well. Okay.
You need a big guy. You need a guy like Conor. You need a guy like Khabib, John Jones. You needed like some of these top guys.
Well, there you
to
go.
come
now
together.
You know what now you know what Dustin could do. Because we've already discussed that Dustin ain't gonna be doing shit at 155 unless he moves up to one.
I don't know, man. I don't think Dustin got that pull. I don't think Dustin got that pull, man.
All right.
What does Dustin do, Shady? What do you see Dustin doing this year? You think he fights Nate? Do you think he tries to make another title run at 55?
You know, watching Dustin fight, right, against Oliveira, I'm like, oh, he's taking this dude out. I'm like, he's getting this dude out of here. I was like, he's taking him out of here. And then to see the fight change so dramatically and kind of see Dustin slow down, I was like, here it comes again. Here comes the letdown from Dustin all over again.
Always a bridesmaid.
Yeah,
never
right.
a bride.
So for Dustin, I don't know if staying at 155 is the. I just don't think it's the answer anymore. You know what I mean? It got to be tough to continue to make that weight because he's definitely walking around heavy in that. So it got to be tough. I think that it's also very dangerous to move up, though. So it's kind of a catch-22, right? Because I don't think Dustin has the power to really jump up to 170. Yeah. Now, he does have a lot of skill, but I just don't see him having the power. And I think that some of those guys at 170 are really going to give him trouble. So for Dustin, I think that maybe you stick around 155 and see if you could work your way to another title shot. But
I think for me, I think at this point, I kind of wanted to see Dustin in like big fights, like him versus Nate. You know what I mean? Him versus Colby, kind of one-offs. Because I just don't think he's going to be able to win a championship. And I think if you look at 155 right now, I don't think Oliveira's going anywhere for a while. You got Makhachev coming up in the rankings. 155 has killers, man. And I don't see him climbing that mountaintop again and getting up there, man. You know, I don't know. It's just, I feel for the guy because he's a fan favorite, but I don't know, man.
Gotta call a spade a spade, man.
What do you think, JC? You think he's done at 155?
Yeah, that was what we were discussing last week or the week before. He's in a spot where he's also in limbo. He's tried again, and no kind of progression. He had the chance to take Oliveira before taking the Conor trilogy, and he decided to do the trilogy first.
But that was the fight. No, that was a smart move, though. You take the money. You take the money. You know how much money he made off of Conor?
I mean, he did.
And it was easier fights.
He could also, and he could always, as he did, do the Oliveira fight afterwards, and he did, and it didn't go his way. Now, I personally see him right in the middle. I don't, focus on your charity, dog. I mean, right now, because like, it's not looking great. He's not in a good spot.
And the hot sauce?
Yeah, in the hot sauce. Stick to the charity and the hot sauce right now. Just for now. See how shook it's. I mean, because the way it's looking is, I'm more than positive we're gonna see Conor Oliveira this year.
No, I think that's a no.
I think we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna see that, and then I actually see Conor taking out Oliveira.
No. JC, you tripping? What you drinking over there?
Same thing I always drink.
Yeah, you put a little. You added something too, because I don't see. I don't think we get Conor Oliveira. I think we get Conor Nate. I think we get the trilogy there, and then that's it. I mean, I don't want to see Conor no more. I mean, what like
if Dana wants to see Conor more.
I mean, of course, because he sells out, but I don't get how you think Conor's gonna beat Oliveira. Oliveira just dominated Dustin.
Well, styles make fights though, and Conor's style is a little bit different than Dustin's. You know what I mean? And he has more power than Dustin.
Yeah,
as far as being a hitter, and a puncher. But the rest of the crazy thing is that Conor's game was so different before he came up to 155. Like he was more of an all-around fighter, right? Not really with the takedowns and wrestling and things like that. Right. But his defensive game plans were a lot better, right? Now it just seems like if I can't knock you out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's
I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't knock you out.
And it's not even if I can't knock you out. It's not if I can't knock you out in the first round.
In the first round. Like it's like the number 2 became confusion to him. It's like number 2, round 2. What's that? So he doesn't know how to. It's like it's kryptonite. And then no bullshit. That last fight, if his leg didn't give out, I had no idea how that fight would have went, bro.
Don't get me wrong. Conor caught him some good time.
That's what I'm saying.
Even the second fight, he caught him. He had him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He had him.
Out so fast, that cardio, man. You got to work on that cardio.
Yeah, he's loading up the punch, bro.
Yeah, he don't.
He's always loading up the punch.
He's loaded, yeah.
That's all he does. Like 50% of his energy is just waiting for that one hit. And then, boom, stamina, 0.
Yeah.
And he got to work his fucking way back up.
It's tough to do that road work when you got that yacht waiting out for you out there, man.
Man. You can't do that grunt work when you drive $100,000 cars. Like you can't.
He's like, yo, what you want me to walk to my yacht tired?
Yeah. Bro, boy got $250,000 watches. Like, yo.
Bro. So look at this, right? Not only was it the Mayweather fight where he made a shit ton of money, right? But look at the whiskey deal. Right?
Oh, yeah. Now he has a beer deal.
Yeah. The whiskey deal, yeah, man. I mean, bro, he's worth I think like $500,000, they say 450, something like that. And it's just like, yo, my man, you still want to do this?
For what? I want to get punched in the face for fun?
Nah,
I'm good, dog.
Yeah. Honestly, we actually really have to sit down and have this. Now that we're all here, we can have this conversation. Yeah. Once you have that amount,
I was gonna say, you mean like sit down like we're doing right now?
Yes, exactly. That's why I said. That's why I made sure I clarified. Except Shady, he looks like he's fucking doing push-ups over there.
He's doing calf raises. He's working out them calves.
Yeah, he's. But nah, like it really. Where is the motivation? Because there's none. It's ego at this point. It's just you don't want your legacy hurt, even though you haven't won a fight since Obama wasn't off. No, Cowboy.
No, he won. He beat Cowboy.
Yeah, Cowboy. He beat Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Wow.
Come on, give him that.
Wait, hold on.
I'll be right back.
Wow.
Go ahead. He beat Cowboy.
He's a legend. He's a legend. I'll give him that.
I think for me, JC, it's
just be a father, bro. Just be a father at this point.
He still loves it, but he also, a lot of these guys, they it's hard for them to not see themselves as fighters. Like, it's like, yo, this is what I've done for most of my adult life. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm a fighter. So if I'm not fighting, what am I doing? You know what I mean? That's the way a lot of these guys look at it. Now, for Conor, it's a little weird because
he can say the words, I fought.
Excuse me. No, but it's weird with Conor because you would think all these other outlets and all these other business ventures that he's done and that he's succeeded at, you would think that he would be able to find, like, see the off ramp. You know what I mean? Like, see that, yo, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, we're about to get off the exit. Like,
yeah, that's what you would think, except when you lose over and over and over again, that off ramp becomes a detour back into the highway.
So that's what I'm saying. I just want to see Conor versus Nate one more time. Let that trilogy, let them talk shit. Let's build it up, and then let Conor win, lose, or draw, right off into sunset. You know what I mean?
Why
Like,
Shady look like he looked like about to shoot his photo album for his mixtape.
Yeah,
his
right. Boy
his album cover.
Yeah. Boy
with
say,
just staring off onto the outside, thinking about
Boy
So
say.
With Conor, I kind of want to see the same thing. I don't know. I'm be honest with you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to see the Nate trilogy.
Okay.
I'm just not really excited about that fight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't love Nate Diaz as a fighter. He's a brawler now. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I just rather see him fight somebody else. Now, Dustin, Nate, I'm interested. You know what I mean? I'm interested. But Conor,
wow, that is an interesting fight.
It makes for good TV though.
Yeah.
Great TV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that's all I'm in it for like these older guys. I just want to see fun, entertaining fights. You want even Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz. I'm into that. I'm into Tony versus even Masvidal. Like I just want to see interesting fight with these guys.
Michael Chandler though.
Tony Conor. I'd be interested.
Tony Conor. Masvidal Conor.
Tony Chandler.
In that. Tony Chandler. That's what they're saying, right? They're saying Tony Chandler. You know what's so funny? Tony Ferguson is a disrespectful guy, man, because Michael Chandler was talking about him and on Twitter, and Tony replied, "There goes my bitch."
Yo, you remember that shit from Waterboy?
Yeah, there's my bitch.
Yeah, he was like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? There's but that his football turned into the fucking Klansman head, and he kicked that shit.
He goes, "There's my bitch." Let me read. I want to read. I want to read this verbatim because I literally laughed out loud. So here's what Tony writes. Chandler Rosa, and he's like, "I want to fight Tony," and he goes, "There's my bitch, Michael Chandler." The brass Dana White relayed your message saying you'd be ready for me April, June. Looks like you're trying to delay that ass whooping I owe you for cutting the line, kid. Wrestling season, motherfucker. Man up. Champ shit only. Tony Ferguson. But boys back. He said you cut the line. You pay your dues. I gotta take you out. I'm down for that. I'm down for Tony versus Chandler.
Sure.
And you know Tony not gonna tap out. Tony not gonna give up.
No, ever. No.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't know
spleen.
I still don't know how he didn't tap out when Oliveira caught him in that armbar.
So I don't think he understands pain, both emotionally or physically, because he's untouchable.
I was naive, right? Yeah. And what I mean by that is that I didn't even know that much about Oliveira before he fought. No shit. Actually, I'd seen him pop up on a couple different cards and things like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
This guy's pretty good. But I was ignorant to the fact of this dude really can fight.
He's a badass.
Yeah, you said, "Oh shit!" Like this dude got the most submissions.
He's a badass.
Yeah, he got the most submissions in the UFC history. Like this motherfucker get down.
I looked it up after.
No. I mean, I wasn't same boat. I wasn't like the hardcore Oliveira fan. But the dude doesn't give up, and I really think he's gonna be the champ for a while. I don't think right now everybody's hyped.
I got a strong chin.
Yeah, strong chin, and I don't think Islam is gonna beat him. We got Islam versus Dariush coming up, and I think, and this is my only problem that I've ever had with Khabib, is that yes, the Dagestani wrestling, them motherfuckers gonna take you down. Nobody's not gonna get taken down. They're gonna take you down at least once. But what Khabib has never really fought, and it's gonna be interesting for me to see Makhachev fight Oliveira, is the guys who can submit you on their back.
Wait, you really think Islam takes Beneil?
Oh yeah, I think it's.
I don't know. See, I
have no idea how that. I have no idea how that fight.
You guys make me feel bad because I like Beneil. I
like Beneil too. Islam and Beneil is probably going to be my fight. That's gonna be my fight of the year so far.
That's gonna be a good. I mean, Beneil said he's gonna wrestle him too. He says he's gonna wrestle, so we're gonna see. But all right, let's just say
I say Beneil is dangerous in that fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he is.
I think he's dangerous in that fight.
He is. But for argument's sake, you know what I mean? Just if you will, let's say Makhachev gets by Beneil, and now you got Islam versus Oliveira. We've never seen like these Dagestani wrestlers, like Khabib, for instance, kind of fight a guy as dangerous as Oliveira. Because you know what I mean? Oliveira, bro, there's black belt jiu-jitsu and then there's Charles Oliveira.
Yeah,
there's levels. So for me, that's gonna be an interesting thing where I want to see the ins and out. But to your guys' point, you know, but now Dariush is no walk in the park. That's not a cupcake. He's not. I don't think Makhachev is gonna roll all over him. What do you, Shady? What do you think about Khabib kind of coming out and, you know, saying like, oh, Makhachev deserves a title shot? You know, kind of, he was really saying, you know, like, Gaethje don't really deserve it. You know, Makhachev is the guy. Gaethje, I tapped out Gaethje. You submitted. You know, now it's Makhachev's chance.
Here's my thing with that, right? And first of all, I'm going to say Khabib's a hell of a fighter. I respect him a ton. Yeah. But the reality is that what does what you have done have to do with what he's going to do? You know what I mean? Gaethje could go in there and beat Oliveira. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Yeah. But he might do it. You know what I mean? So I think that everybody needs to pay their dues. And if anybody's paid the dues, Gaethje's definitely paid the dues. You know what I mean? And he deserves this shot. He does. So I say give it to him. If he loses, he loses. So what? But Makhachev is right after that, right? Who else would it be after him?
But now whoever wins.
Correct.
Yeah. Whoever wins. Yeah. But yeah, I'm in the same point. And my thing is just like, yo, Papa, if you wanted to decide who's gonna fight, you should have kept the belt.
You should have stayed.
Yeah. It's like, yo, I never heard Khabib talk this much since he retired.
Yeah, that was one thing that we forgot to do last week, was when we didn't ask the question, the most disappointing fighter of the year last week, and mine was gonna be Khabib and his Twitter fingers, because like this motherfucker, he hasn't all of a sudden he just explodes.
Now you got loud,
and now it's just like, bro, you annoying. Like, sit your ass down. You have nothing to say anymore. I mean, yeah, you're the head of, you know, Eagle City, Bird Gang, whatever.
Eagle FC.
Eagle FC. Hey, yo, how disrespectful is it? My man said, yo, we're gonna sign Dustin. Like, come on, Dustin's a top 3 fighter. You tell Dustin, if you know, call me, I'll sign you. My man, I just fought for the championship belt. Have some respect. Like, come on, man. I ain't like that, man. I don't like the way Khabib rolling these days.
I don't mean either, man. And you know me, man. I got the hat right over there in the back.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not throwing that. I am gonna throw that on the day after the Islam Benil fight for sure.
Yeah, you team Alhamdulillah.
So
I am the primordial.
I guess not to say we avoid it, but who I want to ask y'all about, and Rosa, you know, this is my guy. I talk about him all the time.
Jake Paul, right? Oh, my bad. Sorry, okay.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say what I really want to say, but
you should.
What do you do with Blessed?
Yo, Max, bro. This time last year, man, he was fucking up Calvin Kattar on ABC.
God, I'm the best boxer.
Man was slipping punches without looking at the punches.
Just nasty.
Yeah, I think you got to run it back with Volkanovski. Man.
Oh, God, again.
No, you got to because
he beat him. I don't care what anybody says. I want to be the first person to say this. He fucking beat him in that second fight.
We all said that. It was highway robbery.
He beat him in that second fight. And the fact that Volkanovski, you know, is kind of like dismissing him and like, yo, nah, I don't want to fight him. All right, so then who do you want to fight? Because do you want to fight Calvin Kattar? Because Max just whipped his ass. Do you want to fight Yair Rodriguez? Because Max just whipped his ass. So what do you want to do? And these were all dominant, convincing wins. And I think, you know, it's like to me, Volkanovski, if you want to be the man, you want to be that champ, then you got to put Max away.
Well, but here's the thing.
Like, you need a decisive win.
I just think the reason why, and again, I am agreeing with the fact that you remember we did shoot after Max.
The Fight Island. That was a Fight Island.
When
he lost to Volkanovski.
Yeah. We shot immediately afterwards. Like that. You know, the normal days.
He got robbed. He got
robbed, and I said he got robbed on many occasions. I think the reason why Volkanovski says, bro, not again. What more do I have to prove? Is because they just fought. Now that we have Brian Ortega away, now that we have Yair away, now I see Volkanovski going, all right, you want to run it back? We can, because enough time has passed. I don't want to do the Holloway thing again.
Yeah.
Even
But here's the
though-
thing though, like Max put it to a position where it's undeniable now.
Yeah.
You can't not fight me. You know what I
can't
mean?
avoid- you can't avoid it.
You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
avoid me. And real talk, Ortega, I to this day I still don't know how Volkanovski got his head
Yo,
out of that. I still
that
don't know
was-
how he
that
to
was
this
one of
day,
the
I don't
greatest
know-
fights of
I don't-
2021.
Bro, I don't know how much Vaseline they put on his head, bro.
Yo, for real, they had to.
They put some type of petroleum jelly. I don't know what type of lubricant. I don't. Yo, that was the tightest I've ever seen somebody get out of a choke. You know what I mean?
And I think he went in an emergency mode where he specifically gathered sweat around the area there that he could
Right around the jaw.
secrete,
Right
where he could secrete in case of emergency and slip out like Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jermaine Dupri just always like greasy looking to me.
Yeah.
And he just secretes it out and he comes
That's so
outside
deaf.
like fucking Neo when
Yeah.
he comes out of the pod in the Matrix.
Yeah, I know what you
And-
mean. Yeah. God.
And I remember we was in chat like, is anybody else seeing this right now? He just fucking got out. And then Ortega was even like, what the
What
fuck?
the fuck? Yeah.
He could
Bro,
do that?
Yeah, like that was crazy, bro. That was
I'm
crazy.
gonna watch that fight as soon as I'm done with this fucking show.
Yeah, to me, it's I want to see Max versus Ortega, or let me get Max Conor. I'll do that. I just want big
I'll do
fights
that.
from. I want big fights from Max.
I
Because
can,
Max,
do, I can do Max Conor. I'd be interested.
you know, and Conor already beat Max, but that was young Max.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember
it was long.
Max has
And
been
that
in the UFC for since he was like 21 years old. Max is not even 30 years old yet. That's the crazy.
I know.
And that's
I know.
featherweight Connor too.
Yeah, that was featherweight Conor. Yeah,
That was
Mhm.
that was skinnier looking than me,
Yeah.
Connor.
even to Max's credit, Max got up there and dude, he went 5 rounds with Dustin for the interim. 155.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Max is a motherfucker, man. Remember,
But the thing was, when Max took that fight, he was already dominating at 145.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was nobody left for him to fight.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, here comes Volkanovski. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he comes up. And granted, I will begrudgingly give the first fight to Volkanovski. He beat him.
That was even close too, though. That was close.
I
That wasn't-
know. That's why I said begrudgingly.
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Both of the fights were like razor thin. You know what I mean? That they could have gone either way, except that second fight. The second fight, he got robbed.
Yeah, second fight he got robbed.
Max got robbed.
He got robbed.
Max got robbed. Yeah, and if you're Volkanovski, right? If I'm in Volkanovski's camp, I'm like, yo, bro, let's beat Max. Let's fight Max. We already beat him twice. You know what I mean? If we could beat him 3 times in a row, we could be the ones to say, yo, we beat Max Holloway 3 times. You know what I mean? Like if he goes in there, I'm not saying he will, but he goes in there and because another thing, Max has never been knocked down. You know what I mean? Max has never been knocked down. So it's like, yo, if I'm Volkanovski's camp, I'm like, yo, let's just end this once and for all. Let's get him out of there. And at that point, you're the greatest 145er because then you beat Max 3 times and you got a decisive one. I just don't see how Volkanovski gets out of it. The only way I see he gets out of it, and we spoke about this, JC, I want to say 3 weeks ago when we saw that tweet from Triple C, because Triple C wants to come and he wants to fight Volkanovski. And I don't know if Dana lets him skip the line. But even if Triple C gets in there, I wouldn't mind seeing Triple C versus Max. You know what I mean? If we want to get some fresh blood in there. But I think Max deserves a title shot or a big fight like a Conor. Some.
He deserves a big fight. If he doesn't get the title shot, it has to be a big fight.
Yeah, for sure.
He's earned it.
Because he earned it, bro. He decides to look. He beat Yair. He beat Calvin Kattar. And at that point, had Calvin Kattar beat Max, he would have got a title shot. That's a crazy.
Yeah, Calvin
thing,
Kattar was like top 5.
He was top 2. He was like, I think he might have been 2 or 3 under Yair.
That high? I thought he was like 4 or 5.
Matter of fact, you might be right. Yeah, he was
5.
probably 4. He was 4. Yeah, he was 4, and Max was still ranked number 1. You guys.
Yeah. That seems more. Yeah.
I think Max. Max has paid his dues, man. Max, he deserves it, man.
Even if you didn't want to consider the Kattar fight, right? Let's say that. All right, well, he beat Calvin Kattar, whatever. But you see what he just did to Rodriguez?
Yeah,
Yeah. You see what he just did to him?
Bro, I mean, fuck it. Let my man Max let him get Oliveira. Let him get the 155.
Oh.
Let my man get Oliveira.
You have to
Oliveira not
see.
tackling out Max.
I think you're going to see more of that, though. I think you're going to start to see more of the crossovers of people jumping up in weight.
Yep.
And champion versus champion type of fights. You know what I mean? Or number one contender versus champion at the next level. Because what else is there to do?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
It's
no new
tough.
blood.
Nothing.
There's no new blood, and it's musical chairs between the 1 and the 5s, between the 1 maybe like 1 and the 7s.
Yeah, it's tough because you got a lot of these champions are just dominant guys, you know what I mean? And you're not, especially like I look at 170, right? I mean, the only fight I really want to see at 170 outside of Usman, I want to see Colby versus Masvidal. You know, I want to see those guys finally get it popping. And then what do you do with Gilbert Burns? Gilbert Burns is
what do you do with
Leon Edwards?
My boy?
Who?
What do you do with my boy?
Leon
Edwards? Leon Edwards?
Yeah.
I think Leon gets the title shot. But I think honestly, I think Leon is gonna sound messed up, right? Because Leon waited all that time, and then he gets the Bilal Muhammad fight, the poke in the eye. So in the UFC go, I bet we'll give you Nate, and then he fucks Nate up for 24 minutes, and then 1 minute in the 5th round, Nate rocks him, and you get the stumble, and then everybody is saying, oh, if there was another round, Nate would have won. No. Nate got fucked up for 24 minutes.
Yeah, he's sure as shit did. He's just too dumb to know he's hurt.
But you get the Diaz bravado. He's putting his arms up. Because he that shit. Now there you go. He's doing that shit. And then everybody's leaving the fight like, yo, Leon almost lost to Nate. And it's just like, did you guys not see the first 24 minutes?
That was 20 seconds.
Yeah. So then you get Bilal Muhammad, who, I never seen Wonder Boy dominate like that. He fucked Wonder Boy up for 15 minutes. I never see it. And now,
boy say, yo, kiss the floor.
He pretty much
bite the curb.
Yeah, he pretty much. So now for me, I think you do Bilal Muhammad versus Leon, and the winner fights Usman, because I think Leon owes it. I think they got to run that back, because that poke in the eye, they were fighting each other. I gave Leon that first round, and I thought Bilal would be some really good competition for him. So I think you run it back with those two. You say, look, whoever wins this is fighting Usman. Automatic.
If I wanted to just drop a little nugget in there for you,
go ahead.
What about Burns Edwards?
I think I don't think it's a good matchup for Leon. Me personally,
but a lot of people think a lot of matchups ain't good for Leon, and then Leon surprises us.
No, it's true. It's true. I think I'd want to see Burns versus Luque. To me, if I was booking the territory, I would do Burns versus Luque. And if I'm Leon, I probably would want to do Bilal. I think Bilal's an easier fight. But either way, Leon either gets to your initial point. Leon either is getting a title shot or is one fight away from a title shot. It
sound like he was one away from a title shot.
That
was the rumblings I was reading, that he was one away from a title shot.
And that's the thing too. And I think Dana, to what we spoke about earlier, I think Usman kind of told Dana, like, yo, Papa, don't expect me till the 3rd quarter, till the, maybe, end of the 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter time.
Probably around the summer. I was thinking maybe like the summer.
Like
late summer when we see him.
Yeah, don't expect me, because you got to think about it. Usman's been doing
he's been
doing 3 fights a year for the last 2-3 years. Like, yo, Papa, I gotta go chill with my family for a little bit. I need a couple months off. And you think about it, right? Like, if you're Leon, do you want to sit and wait, or what happens if do you want to stay active, or do you see, let's say for instance, Leon goes, yo, I want to wait for my title shot, and then you get Gilbert Burns versus Vicente Luque, and let's say one of those guys gets a crazy knockout. Let's say Burns knocks out Luque. You got, if you're Burns, you got the what's the word I'm looking for?
Leverage.
Not so much leverage, but you got the, let's say, history, for lack of a better term, where you fought Usman and he rocked Usman that first round. He had him.
He did.
He had him, and he rushed him. And that's where he fell back a little bit and more patient. Who knows? But you could say, yo, I fought Usman. I gave him his toughest, challenge. I beat Wonder Boy. I beat Luque. I'm deserving. And then, Dana White goes, yeah, I guess you might be right. Leon's been sitting on the sidelines. All right. So that's the way Dana looks at it. So if I'd rather stay active, depending how long Usman doesn't want to fight. And if you're Leon's agent, you need to be on the phones like, yo, when is Usman ready? When is Usman ready? When is Usman ready? And if he says, yo, he's ready in the summer, fuck it, book me for March. Let me get Masvidal too. You know what I mean? Supposedly Masvidal,
he don't really want to fight anybody.
He don't want to fight him. But then go on Twitter and say Masvidal's ducking me. You know what I mean? Like
they've been doing this though. Like this isn't new. This is not new.
For what, the last 2 years?
Yeah. So it's not like.
Yeah, I think for Leon, you got to stay top of mind, whether it's with Dana or with the fans. You got to stay top of mind because you don't want to be.
Fans don't like Leon, bro.
And I'm just
calling a spade a spade.
Only Shady.
I like him.
I think he's great. I think he's a great fighter.
Too. I think he's a great fighter.
Yeah, he's great.
Here's the thing, though. It's like JC said. He's not a draw. You know what I mean? He's not a draw. So it's hard for you to get those big fights when you're not a draw. Nobody wants to see that shit, dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how it comes off for the fans. Like, really? Edwards and Usman? Nobody want to watch that. With Covington, the exciting thing about Kobe was that Kobe talks a lot. You know what I mean? And he backs it up. Kobe's a hell of a fighter, right?
That is so crazy coming from you because I know exactly how you feel about it. That is great. That is going up on IG tonight, son.
Clip that.
Just for proof that it actually exists.
Clip that.
Kobe's a hell of a fighter. So let me get that out there, right? Hell of a fighter. Can't stand the dude. Can't stand the dude. Hell of a fighter, though. And I'm almost to the point where I'm thinking, like, what if Covington is like the gatekeeper now, right? So to your Burns' point, all right, he beats Luque. Let's go Covington, Burns next before you even got the opportunity to have that spot to, get another title shot.
I like that a lot because Jorge's not going to fight. Jorge's not fighting.
He's not.
I know.
I think that's the fight. I think that's the fight. I think we're going to get Colby, Jorge, Ultimate Fighter. Book it.
That makes more sense.
I think so.
That makes a lot more sense.
Because trust and believe.
The shit talking is gonna be
shit.
I watch it. I don't even watch Ultimate Fighter.
I don't either. But I'm watching that shit. I'm watching that shit. I'm watching that.
I think that's what they're gonna do. And I honestly, I don't want
something to talk about on every episode too. Like, yo, you watched last week's fucking episode of the Ultimate Fighter.
But yeah, if you're Leon, go. I don't think you're gonna get Kobe. I don't think Kobe entertains it, but I think. Yo, real talk. If you're Leon, if you want to stay active, holla at Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Because Gilbert right now, Kobe's still 1, Burns is 2, Leon's 3,
and Burns want to fight everybody. He's on, but the thing with Burns is that Burns is like, he's got the pedigree to be able to sort of pick fights, whereas Hamzat, and you know how much I love Hamzat, he's a fucking loose wolf, like he's a loose dog. Dana kind of wants to shoot him at anybody, but the shit is that real talk. Like he's only got like 3 fights, so let's.
I don't think. Yeah, well, Gilbert Burns said it. Yo, he said it's funny. Hamzat never mentions my name.
Yeah, oof, I like that.
Yeah. I like when fighters talk fights. I like when they talk fights.
Yeah, I like that too. Especially when they can back it up. Because the shit is that any news that comes out of the welterweight division, whatsoever, Gilbert Burns will be on Twitter with like, well, hey, why y'all not talking about me? Like, why y'all not fighting me? What? Hey, come on, I'm still here. I'm right here.
Yeah. You gotta stay active, man. What do you guys think of? Let's do some quick hitters before we get out of here. What do you guys think about Hamzat? How far off from a title shot? 2 fights, 3 fights? What are you guys thinking?
If it keeps going the way it's going, honestly, yo, like I said, he's loose. He wants to be shot at absolutely anybody, which is great. But and if shit keeps going, 2, 3 fights, why the fuck not? Just and if it, because casuals know who this guy is now.
That's the thing.
I know that.
He's got the following, yeah.
He's not following.
Whenever Wilbert knows about a fighter, that's when I know, like,
God damn.
That's how I know it's kind of made it. Even though he's been a little more into the MMA stuff, but
I it's good because that's sort of like getting a gauge as to the the finger on the pulse of the the people. He's our casual friend. When he knows shit, that means the shit's getting out to the local peasants down at the Red Keep.
Here's the thing with Hamza, right? It could be 2 fights, right? But it has to be 2 very convincing wins for it to be 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it has to be over somebody in the top 3.
Yeah.
Now, if he beats Gilbert Burns, hey, you know what I mean? You got first right of refusal. If it's a Covington or if it's a Leon, if it's one of those guys,
Can you imagine what that would be like?
Well, he was supposed to fight Leon before he got COVID. In
4 times.
I remember.
Yeah. So let's say this, right? Let's say he beats. I think we're gonna get him versus Neil Magny. Right now, Neil Magny's number 8.
Yeah, that's a very low.
Hamzat's 11. So let's say he beats. Let's say he dominates Magny, right? Then he's in the top 8. Then let's say he fights. Let's say we got Leon fighting Usman.
Bilal.
No, Bilal. Yeah. Let's say he beats Bilal. Dominates Bilal. Bilal's number 5. And then let's say
there it is.
Then he might get a title. Yeah,
that would be the fight if he
those two. Neil Magny and then Bilal and then your title shot.
And then your title shot. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, cause I think the way it's playing out now, I think we're gonna get Kobe Masvidal. I think we're gonna get Burns versus Luque, and I think we're gonna get Leon versus Usman if Leon waits it out and everything falls in place. And then Bilal number 5. Let him fight Hamza.
Leon's waited this long, so
what's a couple months, right?
It's been like 88 years. But here's the shit about 170 is that at least there's room for fights. There's room for shit to be shaken, whereas 180 is pretty much locked and loaded. You really can't do much in that division anymore.
Yeah,
but at least because I don't see anybody losing. I don't see anybody beating Izzy. But there are potentials. I actually almost didn't finish that sentence.
Yo, bro, you always for somebody who says Izzy's his favorite.
Stop. I just said Izzy. I said Izzy beats everybody in 180.
And then you said,
I was about to say Usman. Like, do I see anybody beating Usman? And that's why I was like, I don't know.
Which version of Usman now?
What you mean?
Right, the Usman we've seen over the last 2 years, right, or a little bit earlier in his career, because you can see that growth with Usman, right? Especially, and that was my big thing when he fought Kobe, is that Kobe hasn't been that active. So I was like, I don't know. I mean, I know he beat up on Tyron Woodley, but everybody beats up on Woodley at that point.
These days.
You know what I'm saying?
He's that fucking styrofoam motherfucker at the gym that you like kick.
Man, boy,
and
JC
he just had a face and a fade. Nah, but the thing,
boy, JC a bully, man.
Nah. Hashtag Bilal. No, I mean now and in the future of, because like Usman, well, the big reason, and I don't want to get too much into it because we'll be talking about
No, go ahead.
But the thing is that the reason why the Usman Kobe fight was so big was because of the draw of Kobe and how he perpetuated into what it was. Whereas it wasn't until that fight that Rosa was like, yo, I fucks with this Usman motherfucker, because he used to call him a boring fighter.
He was a boring fighter. To
I'm not disagreeing.
He's a boring fighter.
I liked him though, because the motherfucker was winning all the time.
Oh no, he wins all the time. Yeah.
But now he knocks motherfuckers out.
Yeah, now I'm a problem. I'm a problem. And it's like, yes, sir, you are.
What you guys think of they got the footage of Kobe after the fight, telling him like, yo, I'm just trying to sell
this was
it's a persona thing. I know that.
Nobody I wasn't even mad. I was like, awesome. Like the reason why I like you is because of your technique, not because of dragon energy.
But he's a heel. He's WWF straight out.
I'm gonna miss that shit. Like I'm gonna like, he's still gonna be able to cut promos, but when he was during the dragon energy MAGA shit, that shit was fucking hilarious.
2024
Raw American Steel. I'm like,
if Trump runs again, you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? You're gonna see it.
Definitely see
it. Fuck it. Just bring it back, yo. Why not? And then, like, hands down, one of the best interviews of all time was "I Broke Your Face." That shit was so hilarious.
And there's "I broke your face."
I broke your face. What did I say you want to do, man? What did I say? You're done. You're done. Yo, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Oh man.
He like, I broke your face. You ain't break nothing but your will.
Oh, but and then he proceeds to, after he gets the octagon, the press conference, he goes, man, I never respect that guy, man.
Yo, nah,
he's a cheater. He's a cheater, you know.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss. I mean, we're gonna see how he cut promos now. I mean, he was wearing shiny suits though, looking like.
Well, no, he's coming at Masvidal. He's talking shit to Masvidal. So that'll be doing.
Oh, Masvidal's been ducking that fight.
Yeah,
and Masvidal's never gonna fight that. That's why I'm saying when you said this year's gonna be the year for Masvidal.
I don't think there's another fight. I don't think there's another fight for Jorge. Who's Jorge?
And then let him stay with his fucking trophy belt, bro. He's never
want to fight, you know. I don't think he fights Nate again. I think Nate has other things to do, and he's a bad matchup for all these guys.
Learn how to read,
bro. I think Bilal Muhammad works him. You know what I mean? I think I said that. Learn how to read. God. Boy, JC is mean.
That was real mean. I don't know.
What about, all right, let's get out of here with this one. What about Sean O'Malley?
Thank God. I was wondering when you was gonna bring that up.
What about the Sugar Show, man?
You already heard what I said last time. And then after thinking about it, I was stupid to say that. But
what'd you say?
What'd you say? I mean,
I said I said that he asked who would the Dark Horse champ be this year.
Oh, yeah, I think I don't think it works out. So
do time-wise, though.
Yeah, timeline-wise, I don't think it works out for him to be a champion this year, just because I think he needs 2 fights at least. And who knows what Peter Yan and Aljamain are going to fight. I mean, they got to fight.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you got TJ Dillashaw.
At this point, Dana got to strip him. Like, he just has to. At this point, bro. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah, you saw he tweeted something for New Year's. He was a Happy New Year's. I'm gonna get my return of the champ or some shit like that.
He said, I'm basically gonna show the people that why I have the belt.
Yeah, he don't want those problems with Yan though. I tell you that.
Yan's dangerous. He does not want that smoke.
He don't want those problems. But I think Yan fights Aljamain. Let's say we get that in March, April.
Please.
Next man up is TJ.
100%.
So then we get TJ. To me, TJ Yan. That's probably top 5, maybe top 10 fight I want to see this year, just because of the styles.
That might be a low key fight of the year,
right?
That might.
It just might. So you look at the timeline wise. I think Sean is gonna fight. I wouldn't mind seeing Sean fight Frankie Edgar, one of these older vets. Cody just called him out. Before we came on the show. Cody said he wants to fight. I saw online. Cody wants to fight.
Yeah, but you know how I feel about No Love on some real shit. I don't see it. Yeah, he 100% does. I don't see Garbrandt even remotely. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But again, that was his. It was his debut at that weight class. So I was like,
but he don't have the chin.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's not Cody like years ago. Cody.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he had that TKO. He had that knockout a year and a half ago, but
which was lucky too. Now looking back at it,
I don't know, man. He ducked. That shit looked.
Looking back at it, man. I think he
flash in the pan, Rosa.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just feel I feel for the guy. I think he needs to take some time off, man. He's been knocked out twice, in the last year. Take some time off, recover. It's hard to come back from those knockouts, man. You know what they say, man. Once you've been knocked out once, and in a short time, it's easier for you to get knocked out. You know what I mean? Like you look back to Anthony Joshua, the boxing fight, Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. The rumors were Joshua got a bad KO like 2 or 3 weeks before the fight, and you're more susceptible to getting KO again, man. I think he needs to take some time off. You don't want to, if you fight Sean O'Malley and he knocks you out, you are never gonna live that down.
No, never.
You're gonna be talking about. He's 100%. Yeah. If they fight Sean O'Malley, knocking him out.
I think he is. I think he is.
I did too. I
think he is, man. So I think Sean's gonna fight. I mean, Sean right now is ranked number 12. Fight an old school vet like Frankie Edgar. You know what I mean?
So who do we have? Who do they have 3 through 6?
So right now, Jose Aldo. So right, I'll read them all. So you got Aljamain, Peter Yan, number 1 contender, TJ Dillashaw 2. You got Jose Aldo 3, Cody Sandhagen 4, Rob Font 5, Marab 6, Dominic Cruz 7. I wouldn't mind that. Dominic Cruz. I think
Dominic Cruz and then Sandhagen would probably be enough.
That could do it. But I don't know if there's another thing too, and to Sean O'Malley's credit, where he's like, yo, I don't want to fight these top 5 guys until they start paying me, because he's still on that Dana White Contender Series contract.
Yeah, you know what's
where he's not getting paid a lot of money. And to his credit, he's like, yo, Papa, I'm making $1 million on Twitch and selling merchandise.
Yeah, that's very.
He's that new generation of fighter where he has such a following outside of the UFC where he can pick and choose his fights. You know what I mean?
He's his own promotion.
You like that? Yeah. Yo, he's like, yo, I'm not. He said it too. He's like, I'm not fighting top 5 guys. They're not paying me top 5 money. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think I think he's gonna slow play it because he has the leverage. A lot of these guys don't have that leverage.
But
you know the type of numbers he's doing on Twitch, JC?
Yes, 100%. I'm on Twitch every fucking day. But the thing is that how much is that a detriment in the long run, though?
It's as long as you keep winning, it's not detriment.
As long as you keep winning, it works out. But the minute he starts losing, though, you know what I mean? It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. But here's the thing. All right. And then in that case, where do you ask the question? Do you keep going? I mean, if I'm not gonna get paid to fight, you know, who I want to fight and where I want to be, the fuck am I doing here in the first place?
That's true.
Yes, so, but at a certain point, he wants to get his what he feels his market value is, right? And you think about it, JC, right? Look at some of the cards he's been on. He was a co-main event of DC and Stipe. He loses that fight, whatever. Comes back, he's on a Conor card. And now he's on this. Now he's on this other pay-per-view that just passed.
Because he's the young,
so and he's not ranked. When have you seen not ranked guys on main cards of pay-per-views?
Because he's
a draw. They know the eyeballs
to the younger generation. Yeah, more than like that's his biggest demographic. Yes. The younger generation, people who probably would never watch MMA, anything MMA based, he brings them in, which is awesome, which is great. And I absolutely appreciate it because more eyes on the sport means, you know, more friends I could fucking talk and yada, yada, yada. But the thing is now that puts Dana in such an interesting position because Dana now has to go, all right, I don't have as much leverage as I have with this kid, which, by the way, he calls every fucking fighter a kid. And this one's actually younger than a lot of people. I don't like that. I hate it when he does that shit. But with Sean, I mean, he's a kid. So I kind of accepted there. It's so funny because old man Dana, who in my head is like fucking fucking Scrooge just all year round. Old man Dana can't really get a hand on Sean O'Malley because he doesn't have control. But then,
to Dana's credit, let me play devil's advocate. I don't think he wants to push Sean. If anybody knows the analytics and the data, it's him. He knows what percentage of they can calculate how many people are watching each fight, each by round. Like they have all that. So it's like he knows the type of like cash cow Sean O'Malley is. So to him, he's kind of like, all right, we'll slow play it too. I think he's okay with slow playing it. I think Dana, and don't get me wrong, and when it's time to fuck Sean O'Malley over, he's gonna fuck him over. But I think,
and then I mean, maybe that's why it is. Maybe it's because he's young and he's like, all right, he doesn't really know anything yet. Cool. Let me fucking snake businessman this shit, and that's the day he learns.
It's like the I was watching Harry Potter this week. You see what Snape is talking to Dumbledore. He's like, you raised him like a pig for slaughter.
God damn. Happy 20th anniversary, Harry Potter.
Yeah, happy 20th, yeah. And then when it's
that crazy? 20 years.
20 fucking years.
20 years, man.
That's insane.
20 years. But you watched all the movies, JC?
Hell yeah, come on, son.
Damn, we never talked about
I read the books.
Oh, we gotta talk.
I know.
I mean, that's what we do here, baby.
Yeah, I know Shady was on it, man.
Oh, nigga, with the what?
Oh man, I was just saying this weekend, all weekend. Expecto Patronus.
Expect that Patronum.
You gotta hit him with the stupefy.
Stupefy. That's
Lengarium Leviosa.
Nah, what's the
Leviosa? Abracadabra.
The joint where Voldemort be like, he'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm about to show you Voldemort real quick.
Go ahead. Let me see.
Let me see your Voldemort.
Yeah, let's see. Oh man, bro. Ooh, what a way to end the episode, man. How can we compete up with that, JC?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh man,
Boys was talking. Somebody brought up Harry Potter. We went on a straight 5 minutes. Hold on.
Oh man, you're a wizard, Harry. Oh, you see JC pointing at the socials. There we go, JC pointing at the socials. Man, Shady, brother, we appreciate you. We appreciate you taking the time, being the first guest, man.
This was fucking great.
This was awesome.
I appreciate you guys for having.
Absolutely fucking great.
Awesome,
incredible,
man.
incredible.
We'll open invitation, man. Whenever you want to come in, chop it up.
Absolutely.
You know, you're welcome anytime. We're gonna have a lot of good, interesting, exciting fights this year.
We got a lot of exciting stuff going on this year. Yeah. So I mean,
hey, we shoot at the same time every week. Some days, 15, maybe 30 minutes later, yada yada yada. But whenever you want to come, dog. If you don't have nothing to do, dog.
The doors.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah. that work from home life, man. I love it. Man. But like we always say, man, this is like, honestly, this is probably the best time to ever be a fight fan, especially 100%. Like an MMA, UFC fight fan, man. I think we're in the golden era right now of like really good, entertaining fights, man. But yeah, Shady, once again for showing up. We appreciate the love, man. JC's pointing at the socials. As always, guys, thank you out there. Make sure you click play and always remember, keep your hands up.